Hi everyone, thanks for dropping by my YouTube channel today, where I'll be doing final test on Richard's QuadraFire brand Pellet Stove Controller. This controller is unmarked, so it's a little difficult to tell exactly what model it is, but by the looks of the circuitry, it's an TASSB-93V.12A. It performs exactly like it, and it has a chipset inside to match that. So I've had the controller on for a while, and I'm not calling for heat right now, so my thermostat is off, my calling for heat light is not on, and I don't have any lights on my tester on, so it's in idle mode waiting for input from the thermostat. What I've already done, and I've marked the controller with this, is we can see that the green light on the back of the controller comes on at 320 degrees Fahrenheit. The red light comes on at 1250 degrees Fahrenheit. The auger is on for 3 minutes after initial startup. The element will stay on for 4.5 minutes after startup if the temperature does not change. And the exhaust fan will stay on for approximately 9 minutes 40 seconds if the temperature stays at room temperature after a call for heat. So let me go through my tester here. I have the controller connected to my tester, and the tester is made up of a few items. I have a Thermocouple Simulator here, which simulates a K-type thermocouple, and I'm able to adjust the temperature that I want the thermocouple to simulate. I have a call for heat lamp. I have a thermostat which will allow me to do a call for heat, and then I have 4 light bulbs. One simulates the igniter, one simulates the combustion fan, one simulates the auger motor, and a 4th one that simulates the convection or room fan. Just know that on this model of controller, this light will not come on during testing. The reason for that is that the convection or room fan is powered by wiring inside the stove and is triggered on or off based on a temperature sensor. That is not part of the controller, so that's why we don't see it in action here on the tester. Our thermostat is not calling for heat, so our calling for heat light is not on, and none of the lights on the tester are actually on, indicating that the controller is in idle mode waiting for input, mostly from the thermostat. So let's go ahead and give the controller a call for heat signal. We'll do that by turning the thermostat to on, and we see that a number of things happened here. Our call for heat light has come on, our igniter has come on, our combustion or blower fan has come on, and the auger has come on, so it's driving pellets. So if we were to leave it in this mode, the auger would shut itself off in 3 minutes, the element would shut itself off in 4.5 minutes, and the exhaust fan would shut itself off in approximately 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's if we were to leave it at room temperature. Basically, the controller is looking for the temperature to rise because we have the igniter on and we're putting pellets into it. So let's go ahead and ramp up the temperature, and we'll go to 320 degrees Fahrenheit so that we can see the green light come on. So I will note that the green light is difficult to see on this controller because it is so deeply inset. So 320, here we come. 273. Oh, we passed it, but I can see the light has come on. I'm not sure how well you can see that in the video. Off, on, off, on. So we see that. And if I continue to ramp it to 1250, we'll see the red light come on. So there it is. We can see the red light on and the green light are on. So that was also easy to tell because we turned off the igniter. Basically, the controller now knows that we're at an elevated temperature, that we're feeding pellets into the fire pit, and we're calling for heat. So what will happen now is eventually the convection room fan will turn on and blow heat from the exterior of the firebox out into the room. This process will continue unstopped as long as the thermostat is not adjusted or that the room air in the room doesn't reach a point where it turns off the thermostat. So let's say that as we blow warm air into the room warms up and the thermostat sees that heat and winds up shutting itself off. So as we do that, we see the auger goes off. So it stops feeding pellets into the fire pit. The fire will start to smolder a little bit, it'll die down, and the room will also cool a little bit, which means that the thermostat will sense that and will call for heat one more time. And we see that the auger comes back and starts putting pellets into the fire pit. That will cause the fire to roar a little hotter and cause the convection room fan to come on again, if it wasn't already on, and the room to warm up. The thermostat will sense this and it'll shut off and stop the call for heat, and the auger stops driving pellets. That cycle will continue as long as we still have pellets in the hopper and or the operator does not turn off the thermostat like I do here. Now let's go call for heat one more time, and if I drop the temperature below 1250, we see that the auger came back on. So above 1250, below 1250, the auger's on. So we're calling for heat. We're not quite at 1250 degrees Fahrenheit. We're driving pellets and the combustion fan's on. So everything there is normal. Let's go above and stop calling for heat. That pretty well shuts everything down. It allows the combustion blower to continue running, and that's because if there were pellets in the fire pit and if we had fire, even though we're not calling for heat through the thermostat, that fire will smolder away and we need the fan to continue running to push any smoke that may be caused by the fire up the chimney stack and out. We don't want that building up in the firebox. So that will continue to run for another 15-20 minutes as long as the body of the stove is hot enough. So that's pretty well it. Richard, as we can see here, your controller is now back to full functionality. It's running correctly. I changed a number of items on it, so there was a few things wrong. I was able to identify that and replace what was needed. So per testing, it's all functioning correctly. I do want to thank you for sending that to me. I appreciate it very much. For all you other QuadraFire pellet stove owners, if you have a pellet stove controller of your own that you want serviced, check out the video description just below this video. There you'll see a link to my contact information. So everyone, I want to thank you for watching. If this video was useful for you, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. So let's go ahead and I'll do a call for heat, and we'll see the green light come on, and we'll see a few of these lights come on. So there's my call for heat. My call for heat light is on. That's the same light you see on the back of your stove. The igniter came on, the combustion or blower combustion fan came on, and the auger came on. So all that is functional, all that is correct. Now if I were to wait the 3 minutes, we would see that the auger would go off, and if I were to wait another 4 minutes, the igniter would go off, and that is because I have not yet adjusted the temperature. That's to be expected. That's kind of what would happen if your element had failed, for example. The temperature of the thermocouple would never rise, and instead of just running the fans in the auger forever, they have a timer in the box that shuts them off. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up the temperature of the thermocouple to simulate that we have a smoldering fire, and I'll go up to 320 degrees Fahrenheit, and as I do that, we'll see the green light on the back of the controller come on. I will say that it's going to be extremely difficult to see on this controller. So I said 320 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're at 2. So there we see the green light. I hope you can see it. It's very difficult to see. We can faintly see it there. And we're at 340. Let me back it off. And we see the green light just went off at 316. Off, on. So it's very difficult to see the green light, but there it is. And we don't see any action quite here on the igniter or the auger motor or the combustion fan quite yet. So I'll continue rising the temperature, and we're going to get to the point of 1250 degrees where we'll see the red light come on. So we're at 1250. There, we see the red light has come on, and at the same time, the igniter has turned off the heater element. So let me cycle through that a few times back and forth. I hope you can see that on the camera. Certainly, as I do that, we see the igniter come on and off.